In July 2011, Netflix was the most valuable media company in America. Stock at $300, 24 million subscribers, a brand so dominant that Netflix and chill was entering the cultural vocabulary. Then in a single quarter, it all fell apart. 800,000 subscribers canceled. The stock collapsed from $300 to $77. Nearly $9 billion in market value evaporated in under 4 months. Analysts called it a nuclear winter. Competitors circled. The internet declared Netflix dead. And the CEO went on the company blog and wrote 6 words that would define the recovery. I messed up. I slid into arrogance. Today we're breaking down the full story. How a $40 late fee for Apollo 13 sparked one of the greatest business empires in history, how arrogance nearly destroyed it overnight, and how Netflix came back to deliver a 73,000% return for investors who held their nerve. The $40 late fee that changed everything. The Netflix origin story has achieved almost mythic status in Silicon Valley. Reed Hastings, a successful software entrepreneur, rented a copy of Apollo 13 from Blockbuster in 1997. He returned it late. The fine was $40. He was embarrassed. But more than embarrassed, and he was frustrated. Why was this the model? Why were customers being punished for enjoying a product? He drove to the gym that day and had an idea. What if movie rentals worked like a gym membership? You pay a flat monthly fee, no late fees, no per title charges, just unlimited access. That idea became Netflix. Building the machine, Hastings co-founded Netflix with Mark Randolph in 1997. The same year Google was founded, and 2 years before Napster would begin dismantling the music industry. The initial model was simple. Order DVDs online, receive them by mail, return them whenever you wanted. No late fees, no due dates, just a flat subscription. The numbers grew fast. Revenue hit $1 million in 1998, then $5 million, then $35 million, then $75 million, doubling and tripling every single year, while Blockbuster, with 9,000 stores and 60,000 employees, dismissed Netflix as a niche service for internet enthusiasts. In 2000, Hastings flew to Blockbuster headquarters in Dallas and offered to sell Netflix for $50 million. Blockbuster's CEO laughed him out of the room. That meeting became one of the most expensive rejections in business history. Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy in 2010. Netflix was worth billions. The pivot nobody saw coming. But here's what most people miss about Netflix's early success. Hastings never believed DVDs were the endgame. From the very beginning, he was building towards streaming. The company was called Netflix, not DVD by mail. The name was always about the internet. In 2007, a full decade before streaming became mainstream, Netflix launched its Watch Now feature. Subscribers could stream movies directly to their computers. The library was small, the technology was basic, but the direction was clear. While competitors were still debating whether streaming was a real business, Netflix was already building the infrastructure to own it. The decision that almost killed everything. By 2011, Netflix was flying. The streaming library was growing. Subscriber numbers were climbing. The stock had gone from $7 at IPO to $300 a share. Reed Hastings was on magazine covers. Business schools were teaching the Netflix case study as a masterclass in disruption. And then Hastings made the kind of mistake that only comes from too much success. He decided to split Netflix into 2 companies. The streaming service would stay as Netflix. The DVD by mail service, still a massive, profitable business with millions of loyal customers, would be spun off into a separate company called Qwikster. The logic was sound. Streaming was the future. DVDs were the past. Why tie the two together and let the past slow down the future? But the execution was catastrophic. The Qwikster disaster. The announcement came in September 2011. Customers woke up to an email explaining that their beloved Netflix was splitting in 2, and that if they wanted both services, they would now pay separately for each. In effect, it was a 60% price increase for anyone using both streaming and DVDs, with no warning, no consultation, no transition period. In the middle of one of the worst economic recessions in American history, the reaction was immediate and ferocious. Social media exploded. Cancellations surged. 800,000 subscribers left in a single quarter. The biggest subscriber loss in the company's history. The stock, which had peaked at $300 just months earlier, crashed to $77. Nearly $9 billion in market value destroyed in under 4 months. Saturday Night Live parodied Qwikster. Tech blogs wrote Netflix's obituary. Analysts described it as a nuclear winter and predicted the company's demise. The name Qwikster, chosen to signal speed and modernity, became a punchline. 6 words. Reed Hastings had 2 choices: defend the decision or own the mistake. He chose to own it. In October 2011, he scrapped Qwikster entirely, just 23 days after announcing it. And he published a blog post that became required reading in crisis management. "I messed up. I owe everyone an explanation. In hindsight, I slid into arrogance based upon past success. No PR spin, no deflection, no blaming market conditions or bad timing. Just a direct, personal admission that he had moved too fast, communicated too poorly, and underestimated how much his customers valued what they already had." It was the same playbook Eric Yuan would use at Zoom 9 years later. Transparency in a crisis is cheaper than silence. Doubling down on the right bet. Here's what made Netflix's recovery remarkable. They didn't abandon the strategy. They abandoned the execution. The core insight that streaming was the future and DVDs were the past was correct. What was wrong was how they communicated the transition, how much they raised prices, and how little they respected the loyalty of customers who had been with them for years. So they recombined the services under the Netflix brand. They kept the price increase because they needed the revenue to fund streaming content. But they slowed down, explained themselves, and gave customers time to adjust. And then they made the bet that would define the next decade: the content wars. In 2013, Netflix released House of Cards, their first original series. It was a $100 million gamble on a model nobody in Hollywood believed in, releasing an entire season at once, directly to subscribers with no network gatekeepers. It worked beyond anyone's expectations. House of Cards won Emmy Awards. It proved that Netflix could produce prestige content. It triggered a subscription surge, and it started an arms race in original content that reshaped the entire entertainment industry. Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things, The Crown, Squid Game, a Korean language show that became the most watched series in Netflix history with 1.65 billion viewing hours in its first 28 days. Netflix didn't just survive the 2011 crisis. They used it as a forcing function to accelerate the transition they had always planned. The number's 260 million paying subscribers across 190 countries. Since the 2002 IPO, the stock has delivered a 73,000% return, a compound annual return of nearly 32%, ranking among the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 over 3 decades. The company that was declared dead in 2011 is now worth over $300 billion. And Blockbuster, the company whose CEO laughed Reed Hastings out of a meeting in 2000, has one remaining store in Bend, Oregon. It's a tourist attraction. 3 lessons every founder should take from Netflix. 1, the right strategy with the wrong communication is still a disaster. Netflix's streaming pivot was correct. Qwikster was a communication failure, not a strategic one. 2, admitting you messed up is not weakness. It's the fastest path back to trust. Hastings' 6 words did more for Netflix recovery than any PR campaign could have. 3, the company that laughs you out of the room is your best motivation. Blockbuster had every advantage. Netflix had a laptop and a mailing list. Never underestimate the focused underdog. Netflix went from a $40 late fee to a $300 billion empire. They survived Blockbuster, the dot-com bubble, and their own arrogance. What nearly killed them wasn't competition. It was forgetting who they were building for. Drop in the comments which company you want us to break down next. Every suggestion gets read, and if this breakdown was useful, subscribe. New case study every week on Stack and Scale.